Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to day 30 of the 31 Days of Horror. That is right, peeps. It's almost Halloween. And unfortunately for me, it's snowing outside. Yeah, it's fucking weird. It's like snowing. It's weird as all hell. But anyways, guys. Yeah, it's been a hell of a blast doing this series so far. And, yeah, it's glad to be back. It's great. It's been great. I've been really enjoying doing the reviews, even under the circumstances. As you can see, I've been moving shit around in my room and actually have a new room. It's actually more spacious. If you notice by the way I'm rolling, I actually have a new chair, new desk, new everything. I'm taking my new obligations very seriously with podcasting and hardcore stuff. Maybe I'll do like a little mini room tour in the future when I get it all settled. But I actually have some other things coming that I need to build and shit. And I got a bureau that's going to be behind me, so that should be in the foreground in the near future. Excuse me. Wow. But anyways, guys, we're here for day 30. And the movie I checked out today is a film from 2005, of course. And this film is set on Halloween night, and that makes it even fucking awesomer. And that is The Roost. Yes, The Roost is the directorial debut of Ty West, who would go on to direct films like House of the Devil, The Innkeepers, The Sacrament, to name a few off the top of my head. Pretty much, he'd done a lot of movies, but then he disappeared. And, you usually see him do like a TV, TV films and like TV episode shows. But that's pretty much majority of what Ty West I know about. But this was his directorial debut, and it was like it debuted on Showtime. It was produced by Glax Eyes Picks, which is Larry Fesseden's company, who actually appears in the film in like a small cameo role. But the Roost is kind of very interesting. Pretty much the setup of the Roost, it's set up like you have a matriarch host played by Tom Noonan, who's introducing the movie to us. It's actually like, it starts off like one of those old school, like black and white tube TV specials, like, and Tom Noonan introduces the film The Roost, and the film starts to progress into the actual movie. And the movie itself is kind of interesting because pretty much The Roost is about killer bats. Yes, this group of friends end up getting stuck in the middle of like nowhere. They end up finding what seems, we know as the audience it wasn't abandoned, but it seems to be abandoned to them. And two of them go to try to find out if there's any like other houses in the area type deal, while the other two stay there. And once they do, they find out that there's barn, that this house that they're at is filled with a roost of bats. Now, these bats are very interesting because they're not just any normal killer bat. Pretty much if one of these fuckers bites you, you get infected. And when you get infected, you become like a quote-unquote vampire zombie? Yes. You become like a zombie bat-like creature. And yeah, that's a very interesting aspect for the film. And it's pretty much like a tale of survival. These friends are trying to survive while one of them is getting picked off one by one. And, trying to stay away from these fucking bats and survive. And, it goes in between the actual movie back to Tom Noonan in like the matriarch, he's like the horror host fucking special. And I like that aspect of the movie. It only runs like an hour and 20 minutes. Very short movie. My thoughts on the film as a whole. Actually, one of my favorite Ty West films. I love this movie for the passion. It doesn't take itself fucking, it takes itself super seriously to be like this fucking movie about killer bats, And I like that aspect about it because, bats are very interesting animals because there's a lot of their biology that we don't know about. And it's kind of scary in that sense that they could just make people into zombies, You just gotta shut your brain off when shit like that happens. It's filmed in a very interesting aspect where, it has like a lot of the grain and, retro look to the film. It's very interested in that aspect of it. What I like about the movie, though, is the score. The score elevates it for me, where it has like this great like violin. I think that's what it is. It's either a violin like do 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 do, where the bats are on screen fighting. It elevates those scenes, which would look somewhat goofy if the score wasn't great. Great gore. There's a lot of gore in this movie. I forgot how gory this movie is for what it is, like a made-for-Showtime movie. And it's very great. There's a lot of good things I like. I love Tom Noonan. I like how he plays like his horror host character, like pretty much himself. Like, hey, what's going on? I didn't know you were here. Like it's fucking funny. Very natural performances from all the cast. They seem like natural in their way they're, conversating with their lines and shit like that. I like that aspect of the movie too. And it ends in a very interesting way. I'll give it, some of it's not perfect. So I feel like if they added a few more characters, it wouldn't feel as paced bad in some scenes where, there was a few like scenes where, nothing was fucking happening. They're just standing there in that aspect, which you get in a lot of Ty West movies, to be honest. He actually, if you've ever seen House of the Devil, that's natural, slow burn, but this one has some action set pieces in it that kind of quicken it up to like, just the slow burn aspects of movies. But there's some slow burn shit in this one too, where you get to like know the characters and shit, which, it hurts it, and I wish to, since this movie's like short, I would actually have liked to see a few more Tom Noonan segments in it. It's weird where his next, because he doesn't come back into the movie until an hour in, and doesn't come back until after that, like 5 minutes later. I wish they kind of spread those out a little bit more naturally, if that makes sense. Like, make it seem like an actual commercial break type deal. But either way, it's, that's just minor nitpicking shit. This movie's fun as fuck for a first-time directorial debut, and I highly enjoyed it. If I had to rate it, gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10. I really, really like The Roost. It's a great one to watch during Halloween. It's a great one to watch during October season. And if you like killer bat movies, it's one of the better killer bat movies out there. Which, there's a few of them. There's like Fangs and like, Bats, with Lou Diamond Phillips. Which, I have, those are guilty pleasure movies. But this one's actually naturally kind of creepy with its soundtrack. And I actually like the aspect that the bat, bats are fucking scary. It all goes back to like what's going around in the world today, in that aspect. It's really scary in that aspect, but overall, highly enjoyable film. Check it out. All right, guys, that's it for day 30. As usual, I'll be back soon with another one for you guys, and we're going to close this out with another movie soon. Yeah, so I'll see you then. Peace out.